Welcome back, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer 1745 here with my continuing playthrough of Hearts of Iron 3 with Black Ice 8.52. Okay, it looks like we've broken the stalemate of the inability, or the defensive situation, where I've now gone on the offense, and hopefully these guys are maybe shattered enough to break and allow us to take them. Then we have this still to worry about once we deal with this down here. Yeah, I've thought about moving these, but I don't know. Just don't know if it's worth it. Okay, well that'll be over soon. Well, that's not a good division there. Okay, let's give these guys over to here. Once we shut this down, then we can see about and we're not shutting it down yet, but artillery. And then we can see about getting these forces to other locations, like to defend against Japan, which is coming too soon. Okay, what oh, artillery barrel ammo, that's right. Keep our fighter tech progressing. Now we have to pursue them fast so that they don't have a chance to regroup. Reorganize. So move that forward. These guys, they can reorganize as they advance. As I posted under one of the threads, this is an all-in thing. Everybody's going, we're moving in. And I know about the stacking penalties, and it may not be for the best, but since this was such a grinding affair, in the sense big stacks grinding on each other, you just Gotta move in and take them. Need one here that can advance into there. And there just to stop. This is what is sort of critical, is this thing. 61 hours is enough to get them to evacuate if you have to wait the whole damn time. Maybe somebody can attack there. Yes, perfect. Just start the attack. They're shattered. And they can attack. Great. Green's gonna attack. We need to take this port so that they can't continue to be supplied. Yeah, I'm getting a bit overstacked, I'm sure. Okay, submarine A armament, though they of course should never try to engage. Aircraft, just simply dive and get the hell out. And fighter bomber to intercept the converter. Where is that? It's one of these air attacks, so it's probably over here. Is it a one-off thing? It's one I normally don't do because I normally build interceptors to be interceptors and fighter bombers to be fighter bombers. But we've been getting a lot of Lend-Lease material here. Oh, here. Okay. That obviously reduces hard and soft attack. I'm going to cancel that for the moment. And improve these. Yeah, I know, I just keep cycling through this, but I'll let them organize themselves up. Okay, those are good. The attack. There we go. I think we've got this now. Moving forward, guys. Get in there. Keep the pressure on. Well, I think this may save the game. Don't mind a hard struggle. It's not that I feel I've got to go from conquering battle to conquering battle. It's just I realize when things sort of go pear-shaped enough, as they say, there's no point in continuing. Very good. We have a got the core up there. Okay, more African units. I'm not sure how much these are worth it or not. I think it's readily worth the we're getting, I think, one for Eritrea and one for Kenya. Didn't double hit. And the research is well worth it. It's the amount of ICs I'm not sure about. But I'm not a math guy. Figuring out just, quickly doing the how many ICs is that, right, under current conditions, how much would it take me to build them if I was building them on my own in the regular sort of way. Okay, well, in a defensive battle, the counterattack, which is fine if reinforcements will get there. The German strategy, at least I know very much so in World War I, and I believe it continued significantly, though I don't know, so I'm trying to remember some of the small unit actions I know of. It was always to counterattack. And again, I got this from reading Rommel's book, Infantry Attacks. So like when, because he was sometimes fighting the Italians, sometimes he was fighting the French, and other times he was fighting the Romanians. So allies, but not the British Americans. This is World War I. Whenever they would be like thrown out of a position, and be overwhelmed, they would always immediately, I mean, just, if not a few seconds, a few minutes, whatever it was, they would try to counterattack. Whatever they had left, the shattered remnants of a platoon, a company, a battalion, whatever the size of small unit, they would always counterattack. They wouldn't necessarily always press that counterattack home hard. What they were doing is a lot of times you get thrown off balance, or you get flanked, and it may be an inferior force that hits you, and you know, if you're in a trench and somebody's above you shooting down at you, you're going to get out of the way of the gunshots, even if there's more of you, because you don't know who's going to be shot next, or how you want to put that, or if there's a bunch of grenades blow up around you, and you know, some people die but enough live, but you get thrown out of your position. It may be by an inferior force. So if you counterattack, even if it's sort of a disorganized counterattack, your greater numbers may turn the tide back on them. But also, even if they are a superior number, often the attackers aren't immediately prepared to be counterattacked. They haven't set up to defend the position they've just taken. They're often exhausted. Trust me, an attack like that, just your adrenaline's up. You just use all your energy in making the attack. And so here you are being attacked. You don't necessarily know that it's just by the same guys, and just maybe a handful of them in comparison to you, whatever that means. Again, platoon, company, battalions that are attacking you. You may think that those were reinforcements on the way at the time that your attack won, so that they would often then reverse the situation in the counterattack and throw the enemy back out. That was one of the basic German tactical philosophies. And that's sort of what they're doing here, is they're counterattacking here. Now, they should have realized before this point, once I got a few of these units in, to give up this counterattack instead of continuing it to organization exhaustion, because then that allows me to push into there. But had they been able to either stalemate me by not going to, you know, barely doing anything, and so as to pin these forces so that they couldn't either continue attacking here or attack down into here and allow the other units to reorganize, or maybe the forces that won here would have been too few and too disorganized that your counterattack may have worked. So the idea of the counterattack here, instead of just fording up and trying to hold out, is a good one, but it should be, of course, and obviously you as the human player have an advantage over the AI, but you may also be playing against you know, multiplayer or something in the future. Is the counterattack is a very good thing if you have any units of an organized ability to do so. Try it, but if it's not working out, stop, assess your situation, and figure out a good defensive line if there is one. Just some of my tactical philosophies. Not that I'm a real officer or general or whatever. I'm an armchair one, and I recognize that. All of you veterans out there that may be watching this, I don't claim to have the skills to lead in combat that you guys have been trained and shown with, though. You know, I mean, did go through some Army ROTC training, but take that for what you will. Some training, some little bit, but nothing like those that have been serving in the Middle East recently, or World War II, or Vietnam. Don't claim any of those capabilities. Well, these guys are getting a little better position, but I think they're just exhausting themselves. Yeah. And then it would be better to, if they could have you know, if they can't continue the attack, to just go on the defensive and try to hold out here. Ooh, major victory. Yes, good. Either if they thought they could withdraw some of their army in the face of the enemy, and that would of course be good. But even if they couldn't do that, just delay the ending here. And so to tie up more troops to either, if you're an active AI kind of thing, to invade somewhere else, or simply keep me from sending forces like to the, you know, western desert or somewhere. So that there is reasons to try to make it last longer, especially when we're not talking about real lives. Here we're talking about BS manpower in a game. I've got some air landing infantry there, Paris. These are sure main organized fighting ability, but let's see if that Indian division is backed up by the army here. Yeah, good. Yeah, the big difference between here and down there is the Germans have the ability to supply here. Yeah, I could, maybe should be having some submarines out stopping that supply, but you don't actually stop the supply, well, unless you actually sink all their convoys. But we have the potential of sinking them going here. Maybe we have, and then it wouldn't matter. Just as a, you know, if you want to put input in, one person suggested, and I don't know wrongly, I'm sure, well, I'm sure correctly for some people, that more people would be viewing the channel if the segments were shorter, the episodes. I think it was on a particularly long episode of 50 plus minutes. And I asked back, and I haven't at least noticed a response yet, of just what the optimum time length they thought. a 15 or 20 minute segment I think is too short for a game like this, and we'd be forever getting through a series like that on a daily episode of that kind of length. I mean, I don't want to, I'm not here to do it just my way and screw the rest of the world. Obviously I'm making stuff that I want people to watch, but so you know, I'm somewhat flexible, but I don't, you know, I do want your input. Radios, if you think I'm going too long, and obviously like when I'm doing the War Thunder or something sort of quick, the segments are often much shorter. We'll do some for ships. And those do get okay. Do get pretty good viewing numbers on them. Not as good as the Hearts of Iron series, but the people that are here are known for the Hearts of Iron videos, so. Okay, now I'm about ready to exhaust myself here. Oh, good. All these guys I was gonna do sort of infantry units without supporting units. I maybe did send some, but I was going to send them over here to the Netherlands because of the Dutch East Indies. There's a bunch of support units that could use some infantry over here. And combined, they could maybe do a good job against the Japanese invasions. But like I say, I want input. Can't please everybody, if you know. And quite honestly, part of the time, I'm just having so much fun playing. And even though I do have the clock here, I'm just get into it enough that I go a bit longer than I even tend to go at times. Okay, so let's see. Advanced optics, that's good. And it's good, I think. It makes a better video, but it's also more fun, of course, to make games and series the stuff that you like playing than just simply doing it because people will like the videos. So it's not that I can't cut myself shorter and just simply make 2 episodes. That I can do if I'm paying attention, but yeah, we've got this. Okay, we've got this, and I think we'll keep this episode a bit shorter today, but so love hearing from you. Please post comments on video length or other things. Hoping to improve the sound here soon, so thanks so much for viewing. Thanks for liking the videos, and again, please post comments. See you next time for more World War II action. And we're getting soon, very soon, to Hearts of Iron 4. We'll see how quickly we can get that out there.